Hello and welcome to part 3 of our tutorial series where I explain to you how to create your own template tool with automation blocks for After Effects. In the last episodes we already created our user interface and learned how to replace those texts and colors, and we ran into one issue, and this was when we run our script and now we want to replace this tiny logo here by a new one. So I pick another file and I chose it such that this file is now just a much bigger one. Okay, now you can see this file is so huge, and what we actually want to do is we want to go here into our composition and scale it down until it has the same small size. Yeah? Okay, we see that this logo file has a size of 1080 by 1080, and if I undo, you can see that the original logo file has a size of 49 times 49. So what we want to achieve is we want to first measure the length, the size of this image after we replaced it, and then we want to calculate a scale factor so that it's scaled down to that size of 49. Okay, so to measure the size of a project item, we want to measure the size of this project item, of this image here, we need to go to the project items category. And we need a specific attribute of this project item. So we check what attributes we have, and indeed among all these attributes is also a width of this project item and a height. So we want to get the width of this particular project item, so we click the refresh button, and now we need to do some math, and the math we need is as follows. We want to take the number of 49, which is our target size, and we want to divide it by the actual size that we get here. Think about it. If the new footage file has a width of 49 and we divide these two numbers, then we end up with 1. Yeah, so this means we need to multiply the scale of this with 1, which means don't change the scale at all. If the new file is twice as big as 49, so we divide 49 by 98, then the result of this is 1/2. So we have to multiply the logo size with 1/2 to get down to the original size of 49. This is the idea of this formula. Now, scale values are between 0 and 100, so not between 0 and 1. Therefore, instead of 1/2, we want to have 50%. And to achieve this, we use another mathematical operation, namely to multiply this entire construct with 100. Yeah, this is a scale factor here between 0 and 1. And now we've got a scale value between 0 and 100%, so to speak. Okay, now we want to set the scale factor to the scale property of this logo. Yeah, so what we need to do is we want to change the scale property here. So this is a layer property, so we go to layer properties, and we want to change an attribute of this property, namely its value. So we take it and drag it here. Let me move this down a little bit. We are interested in the scale properties, so we click here to say please set the attribute of the scale of this particular layer, and we want to set it to this value. So let's drag this in here now and run our script. So again, we choose the big automation blocks file here. Okay, and now let's see what happened with our scale. And you can see it calculated a scale of 4.5%, but also of 0 in the y direction. And this is because, well, we've just set one value, so it just took the default value of 0 for the second one. This is why our layer is not visible here at all. Let me manually fix this and set this to 4.5 here too. And now you can see it actually calculated the right size. This was also the size of our original logo, but we need to make sure to put this in both the x and the y value. So what we therefore need to do is, instead of passing here a single value, we want to pass a list of values, a list of 2 values. And we could put in here this one, duplicate it, and put the second one in here too. Okay, let's quickly undo all our changes here and try it now again. We run our script and choose our file. And now you can see it has been updated by a new icon of the same size. Okay, so this means now whatever file you give it, it will scale it to exactly the same width as the original one. And of course, if you rather want to go for the height, you can also choose here the height instead, as long as the new and the old image have the same aspect ratio, it doesn't matter at all. And if you also want to deal with different aspect ratios, then it really depends on what you want. Do you want to scale them to the same height or to the same width? Okay, another thing I want to show you is how to do some more logic with our color choices. Let's say you don't want to enter here actual color names, because often you want to rather pick one of several colors themes, and this one decision should impact different colors, yeah? So, or a lot of different colors in our project. So we could say something like theme bright or theme dark. And now, depending on which value you have chosen here, so depending on if you choose now here theme bright or theme dark, many colors in the project should change. Yeah? So, and I just want to show you a very small example here how you could do this. You need some logic for this. So we use here some if block. After the user entered the values, we want to check which theme he has actually chosen. So we say logic, do some equality check, and we want to check if the color, actually here color main text does not really make sense anymore. So let me just create another variable called color theme. And now we want to use here not the color of the main text, but rather the color theme in our dropdown. So we also say here choose color theme, and here we want to initialize the variable color theme with either theme bright or theme dark. Now we want to check the value that we actually have. So we say color theme, is this color theme actually, and let me just duplicate this block here and delete this. And now so we do the check. If the color theme is theme bright, so in case the user has chosen the bright theme, then we want to do certain things. And what we want to do is here, we want to now initialize our color of the main text. I want to say the color of the main text should be this or that. So let me get my quick cheat sheet here again. So let's say for the bright variant, we want to have the red color. So we copy this and paste it here. And otherwise, we know now if the bright theme is not chosen, so we say else. In the other case, this block will be executed, whatever are the blocks we stack in here. So we duplicate this and put here our blue color. Yeah? So this means we check what color theme the user has chosen, and depending on what he has chosen, we can put the initialize the main text color with either this value or with the other one. And if you have more than two values, let's say you've got a bright theme and a dark theme and some more, you could also do another else if here in between and insert here another check. So something like if the color theme is yet another theme. Yeah. So this means now the color of the main text is set to this one if the user chose a bright theme. If the color chose the yet another theme, which we of course would need to add here too, then whatever you put here would be executed. And if it's neither the bright nor yet another theme, then okay, the only choice that is left is it's the dark theme. Then this third option here will happen. Yeah. But for now, let's keep it simple and remove the else if again. And just go with these two choices. But you get the idea. And the main important thing here is that you could do more than just this single thing. So you could duplicate this and then initialize other variables here too. So you could set a whole lot of different colors depending on one single dropdown. Now, let's quickly check if this is working. So we first go to the theme bright. And let me check. Indeed, it has used here now the red color. And if we run the script again and choose the theme dark, it's not working. Why is it not working? Maybe let's check the console, which gives us always some useful insights if anything happens. And indeed, it says cannot set value of property color of fill layer text main. I cannot convert this to a color, hashtag, whatever. Okay, so it didn't set my color because I've got here 2 hashtags accidentally. This is not a valid color. So in case you have any issues, it's always good to take a look at the console, which gives you warnings if some blocks cannot perform the actions they actually want to do. So let's try to run it again. And this time use the theme dark. Okay, and now you can see the color of the text updated accordingly. And that's already the end of this class. You learned how to use some math operations and some logic to make your templates even more intelligent. And next time we are going to take a look at rendering, so you learn how to immediately add your project to the render queue and render it. I hope you enjoyed this class, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one.